Hi there, Army Wife Network fans and followers. We are trying this live again because it's Thursday, and that's apparently code for all the technical difficulties. So here we go again. Hopefully you can hear me a little better this time. It is a pleasure to be with you today, and I hope that our time together, it's not going to be super long, but I hope our time together provides a little bit of encouragement, maybe some empowerment, maybe a little education. I don't know. We'll see. But I know we're all in a season of really needing maybe some encouragement as far as like a pep talk. And hopefully you have come to the right place. I am a person who loves to cheer people on. Yes, I tell you right now, I was a cheerleader in middle school, 7th, 8th grade, and 9th grade in high school. But don't be super impressed with that. Like, hooray, that's good. But I went to a high school of 80 people. I had 18 in my graduating class. So that wasn't super like impressive, but I'm really glad I got to do it just because I love cheering people on from the moment probably that I was born. I love encouraging folks, and that's one of my greatest joys now with Army Wife Network. I'll tell you right now, I need encouragement too, especially in this current season. My goodness. Just this morning, my husband and I, of course, he's home, he's teleworking, so you may or may not see him in the background as we have this conversation. But just this morning, my husband and I were talking just for a few minutes, and we really had this moment where, like, my husband is super resilient. He's very strong, and God bless him, the man never complains. For real. It's amazing. Like, I don't think of myself as like a whiner, but sometimes I'm like, this is hard and I don't like it, right? He's really strong, but even this morning, like, he gave me a hug and we just both like sighed, like, and he's like, I'm tired. And he's not like physically tired because both of us probably are more physically rested than we've been in months. But he just was like, I'm tired of this kind of the lockdown, kind of the teleworking, the restrictions, and we know that there's a lot of black and white. Well, actually, there's a lot of gray areas with no real answers in how we're supposed to respond. So you add like the current situation of COVID-19, the pandemic, but also with the call of what we're supposed to do as military spouses, and that can get really hard. So today, I want to give you a few little like old school pep talk cheers. Like, it's hilarious how much those cheers from middle school and high school are still in my brain. It is space that is taking up my brain space, which is a highly coveted situation right now because, gosh, I have mom brain, pandemic brain, doctoral brain, all the things. But I still remember those cheers. So, like, our team is dynamite. Our team is dynamite. Our team is tick, 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 boom, dynamite. Boom, dynamite. Can you get more cheesy than that? But hey, our team was dynamite. And you guys, you Milspouses out there, you're dynamite too. And so let's get a little bit of dynamite going up in here. So first thing I would say as far as a Milspouse pep talk is sometimes we need to push the reset button. That sounds super hard right now because there's no real reset. And I'll tell you what, like, many of us are getting ready to we're like in this weird holding pattern of like, hey, we're supposed to PCS like 2 months ago, and now there's a travel ban until June 30th. And what do I do with my hands? Should I pack? Should I purge? Should I when, where, what, whatever. Maybe we're waiting for a homecoming that got pushed back, or we're just getting overwhelmed with like the mental load of moms and dads and soldiers and mill spouses right now, students, employees, government officials. The mental load, I feel like, is heavier than any rucksack that any Ranger School candidate has ever been asked to carry, right? Sometimes we just need a reset button. And as I was thinking about this, in moments when I get overwhelmed, it's challenging, but one of my favorite stories I just read, I love me some Jesus, so I spend a good amount of my time, perusing the Bible. And one of my favorite stories lately was from Elijah. And I'll give you the very like Cliff Notes synopsis version. It essentially, he has this like ginormous victory against some other folks, just awesome, top of the world, kicking indoors, team is dynamite kind of moment, right? And so he's got this huge, overwhelming victory. And then just like a day later, he's being pursued by this chick named Jezebel. She's a little cray-cray, right? And he gets so overwhelmed so quickly. He's just like, he comes to a point, he's so tired, he's so stressed. He literally is like, Lord, just take my life. Like, I'm done. I cannot do this. I'm exhausted, whatever. And do you know what God says? He does not say like, well, you better suck it up, Elijah. Like, you're not doing so great. Take a knee, drink some water, like rub some dirt in. He doesn't say that. Instead, an angel comes down, which I think we all need that right now, right? But, and he literally like gives him something to eat, something to drink, and Elijah takes a nap. So I'm not even kidding. When we're feeling overwhelmed, especially in the season and we need a pep talk, hit the reset button, get a snack, a healthy snack. I love ants on a log, the celery with the peanut butter, maybe some raisins, a little tiny bit of salt to balance that sweetness, or, a piece of cheese. You guys know how to eat healthy. Get a snack, make sure you're staying hydrated, and take a power nap. I have so much resetness that happens when I just lay down for like 20 minutes. And really, I don't usually sleep, but just like that moment to, okay, take a breath makes all the difference in the world. So that's the first thing for this pep talk. Take a break, hit the reset button. The next thing I would encourage you to do is to know with confidence that you there with the nose on your face, as my mama used to say, you can do hard things. You can do very hard things. It's so easy. Like, I'm not going to lie, these last few weeks of like trying to do this pseudo homeschool jam every single Monday for the last 7 weeks, when I get my daughter's schedule, I literally feel like I'm walking around the house like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I have my homework. She has her homework. I have a 3-year-old that's colored all over his face with lipstick and said, look, Mom, I'm a princess. And then they're staying in the kitchen, and it's just like, I can't do this. You know what? You can do this. You can do hard things. This season reminds me a lot of that one and only time, a few years ago when I ran a full marathon. I still don't believe it happened. Like, there's pictures and videos, but I'm like, I didn't really run 26.2 miles, but I did. Never going to do it again. But I remember on like mile 20 to 24, oh my gosh, I got so angry because it started to rain. It was October in Oregon, and it was good weather up until that point, but it started to rain, and I was so mad. I was like, this is the dumbest idea I've ever had in the world. Who said that the scenery was going to distract me from all these ridiculous hills? Like, the elevation change was 2,200 feet. Side note, if you ever choose to run any kind of race, first time out, long distance, don't pick something that's like climbing through mountains. That's a bad life choice. But I digress. So in those miles where it's like raining, my arms and legs are like turning red because I'm freezing my patootie off. I wanted to quit. I was just like, this is so stupid. I was so close to the finish line. I was like 6 miles away, which is a 10K, which in the grand scheme of things is not a whole lot in a full marathon. I was so frustrated. And I felt that way a lot lately with this pseudo homeschool and like waiting for the restrictions to lift. And it's like, I can't do this. I want to quit. I mean, I can't quit. Like, what am I going to do? Like, sure, I can say no to some things like, oh, that pseudo homeschool assignment's optional. That's enough for me, bruh. Sorry, it's not going to happen, right? Saying no and not feeling guilty about that, but pressing on. I know a lot of my peers, my friends, we are in the pseudo homeschool home stretch. That's kind of a tongue twister, but we are almost there. I know a lot of my friends in Kansas, they're finishing up school this week, and it's exciting. We will be done here in Texas, I think, next week. And my daughter and I, like, she's a great student. I mean, granted, she's first grade, so she loves school, but even now she's like, I don't want to Zoom anymore, Mom. I'm like, I know, baby. We're almost there. Just keep shuffling. It doesn't have to be these big, powerful America dynamite steps, but just like little shuffle steps. Just keep pushing forward, because you can do hard things and you are an overcomer. You'll get to the end of all this shenanigans, we'll look back and be like, gosh, we did it. We made it. We got through a pandemic. We pseudo homeschooled our kiddos for a season. We PCS finally, and we all live to tell about it. This is one for the history book, so we can look at it as we're making history here, people. And finally, another one that I would say is when you're feeling overwhelmed and need a little pep talk, put on your Elsa hat and just let some things go. I mentioned this just a few moments ago about saying no to some of the optional things. Some rules are meant to be broken, and I don't mean like go blatantly against the CDC recommendations or anything like that, but I am a hardcore rule follower. I love routine. I love structure. And I'm one of those people that back when this pseudo homeschool thing started, I was like, hey, we have like this flip chart on the wall, and we have time hacks, and we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance every morning, and we're going to do devotional time, and blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like, I think like 2 weeks ago, it stopped after like a week and a half. And then just a couple weeks ago, I was like, and you're done. I just pulled it off the wall. And you know what? I am no less of a mama, a milspouse, a wife. I'm no less because I did that. Honestly, that's one less thing that I'm like putting on myself, saying like, I have to. Letting go of the shoulds. Ladies, this is from, and gentlemen, sorry, I forget. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a lot. Milspouse's Revelation Wellness always reminds me to stop shoulding on myself. And I know that sounds kind of funny, but I am such a shoulder. I'm like, I should run harder. I should clean the house. I should do this. On and on. And, some days I'm being invited to take a nap, drink some water, eat a snack, right? I'm told, I'm invited. It's not a should, but I'm invited to like let some things go, take that chart off the wall and just be like, hey, let's just keep shuffling forward. We can do this. Let's let some things go. And because of that, we might get to say yes to things that add value to our life and joy. I'm not great at like playing with my kids. Like I can, but it's just not my default because I am such a goer and a doer, and I don't really think my kids are worse off for it. But I've had a lot more time to go for walks with my 7-year-old, and it has been so good for my soul. We get time to talk uninterrupted. No boys allowed. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, little brother. Sorry, dog. But we get to go and we get to talk about things in life that maybe we wouldn't have gotten to do if she was in school. And I sure hope school opens back up in August. I will welcome that with open arms and possibly some tears of joy. But right now I'm saying no to some of my shoulds, letting some things go, but then inviting a few other things that fill my bucket, fill my soul, like walks with my daughter, so that I can do what I'm called to do as a military spouse, a mama, a student, a wife, that kind of thing. And finally, I would say, remember how truly awesome you are. That's AWN, some awesome. Yeah, awesome. And I think that goes back to our cheerleading example. I remember when I went to college, was not a cheerleader in college. Like that is super legit. Kudos to anybody that was. That was not on my radar in the least. But I think it was like freshman orientation or something. They had like a welcome booth or a trade show. And they gave me a purple and white pom-pom. I went to Kansas State, go Cats. And they gave me a purple and white pom-pom that was literally like designed. It had like a little loop on it. And it was designed to go in your hair, like on your ponytail. And I wore that sucker to every K-State game. I bought these season tickets all 5 years. And it looked like I had purple and white hair, just like all over. And I had the purple and silver glitter on my cheeks. I wasn't lacking for team spirit. And so I wish I could do that now for you, ladies and gentlemen, all you milspouses out there. I wish I could like get some figurative pom-poms and follow you around. I joked a few years ago when my husband was in Ranger school and I had a toddler. I was joking with my home group. I was like, man, I wish I just had like little army minions to like follow me around with pom-poms and feed me chocolate and like give me like a theme song, I don't know, what would your theme song be? I think mine would be I mean, I have a lot of them, but I think like Rocky, like the theme song from Rocky, da 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 da, you know, like, or like Mission Impossible, or, you know, some things like that, I think would really be like really great to just give us some pep in our step, I guess, as we continue to finish this marathon that is COVID-19 pandemic and the waiting period, the limbo that we're in right now. And I don't say that, you know, you don't ever tell the team when you're a cheerleader, you're not ever like, go team, you're okay, you might win, even if you're down by like 40 points, right? Like the cheerleaders are still going. Like we are like, and hey, miracles happen. Like we rally, we come back, underdogs win. So we never say like, oh, you're all right, or you might make it, or actually, no, you're totally going to lose. So why do we say that to ourselves? I feel like I say that to myself sometimes, that I am not as strong as I am, or I'm not as worthy, or I'm incapable. And those are just lies. What a bunch of baloney. Such lies. So we say things to the team like, you're the best. You can do it. We can't be beat. I want you, Milspouses out there, to remind yourself of that. And I would encourage you to make this tangible. Truly, truly make a list. Like go right now. Well, not right now. Wait till this is over. Make a list and go make a list of why you're awesome, like why you're amazing. And don't be modest. Like you don't have to show it to anybody, but say, I'm a good mom. I'm a great mom. I am motivated. I am a strong Milspouse. I'm having a good face day. Like whatever. Just say those things to provide some encouragement to yourself, because I think that's so important. A few years ago here at Army Wife Network, I wrote a blog, and it's actually called the Milspouse Pep Talk, and I tweaked it for this segment here, but there is a little like letter that I wrote to Milspouses, and I want to read it to you now, because I feel like even years later in our current situation, it's still very, very applicable. Dear Milspouse, hang in there. You have such a tough job, but I know you can do it. Don't sell yourself short. Just because you aren't carrying a 50-pound rucksack on your back does not discount the load you're carrying to run your household, love your soldier, your service member with all your heart. I know it's hard, but keep perspective. Sure, it sounds a little cliche-ish, but we know that anything worth doing requires effort, sometimes a lot of effort. In the coming weeks, months, and years, you'll be glad you stuck with it and pressed forward. Remember that Milspouse life might feel like you're eating an elephant, but the best way to do that is one bite at a time. Look at the big picture. Don't get ahead of yourself. Just take one moment, one task, one thing at a time. Breathe. Breathe. Just keep breathing. You are strong. You are beautiful. You are capable. Believe that you've been called to this position for a reason, and if you stay the course, you will not regret it. So I want to end my broadcast today with that, with some encouragement that you are capable, you are empowered, you can do this. And I know, like, I hope those aren't empty words to you all, that I truly believe that. Milspouses, in my last 10-something years, Milspouses are some of the most remarkable individuals on the planet. Like, you look at the odds sometimes set against us, or the tasks that were put in front of us, and we're just like, holy cow. Like, we don't feel like we can do it, but then we pull it off. And it might require letting some things go and being like Elsa, or pushing the reset button, or just knowing that you can do hard things and pressing on and remembering how truly awesome you are. Friends, I would love to connect with you online if you would like, of course, social distancing. And we are literally all over the globe. So feel free to email us here at Army Wife Network at info@armywifenetwork.com. You can catch our podcasts every Monday and Thursday online, or the podcatcher of your choice. We are here broadcasting live each Thursday at 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time and 12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We will be off next week for prepping for Memorial Day week and that kind of thing, but I just want to encourage all of you. You're strong, you're capable, you can do this. Engage, educate, encourage. Army Wife Network is your source for military life empowerment. This is your Army Wife Network Command Team signing out, and I just want to remind you to be aggressive, be aggressive, BEADGRESSIVE. Also a good spelling lesson, but truly, I hope you feel empowered, and I will catch you next time we go live.